everyone, my name is Evie Lupine. Welcome back to my channel, and today I have another video for you all. As you can tell from today's setup, we are doing something on the internet again. You might remember a few weeks ago I did a video where I talked about the BDSM test. We went through it together and I shared my results, and after I did that, I had somebody who suggested this test instead. It's supposed to be the better alternative to the BDSM test. It's called Kinktest, and I don't know if I've ever heard of it before. With the BDSM test, a lot of people know about that one. If you're on FetLife, if you've been in the real life community for any length of time, you will hear people reference their results. You will see it on their profile, I'm 53% rigger and 76% dom and blah blah blah. You hear about it, but I have never heard of this kink test before. I've never taken it before, so I feel like this will be a very unique experience, because with the BDSM test I've taken that 4 or 5 times, so I know those questions inside and out. So this will be a completely new experience for me, and we'll discover together, is this actually better than the BDSM test? Let us go on this journey together. So this is just the website. It's www.kinktest.org if you want to take this yourself, and it just says, discover the true self on the inside. Are you curious about kinky sex? Ever wonder what sexual archetype dominates you? Take the kink test to find out your role in BDSM. Time to embrace your shadow side. I'm sorry. I feel again, it's the back of the vibrator box type of thing, or just it just sounds so ridiculous and cheesy to me. I have to read it in a silly voice, or I'm not going to be able to get through it. Now, there's a little bit more at the bottom here, just to kind of preface what all this is about. Kinktest.org is a new site in this field, except for the BDSM test. It's operated by real kinksters. We believe the secret to having a wonderful sex life is knowing what turns you on. It is a rewarding process. You'll feel empowered to take control of the compatibility that is doing the right thing with the right person for the sake of better sex and better love. Have you ever asked yourself the question, what are my kinks? Every day. If the answer is yes, you are not alone. Thousands of people want to explore the secrets behind their sexual behaviors. Our site will guide you through the exploration of your sexual archetype, not only by testing your kinks out through a scientifically designed kink test. Ooh, tell me more. Just as we believe, the more you know, the more capable you become to gain control over your sexual satisfaction. I do believe knowledge is power. I'm already a little bit put off by the very explicit link between kink and sex. My worry is that this is they're using BDSM language, but then it seems to mostly be focused around sex, and obviously a lot of people, probably the majority of people, include BDSM and sex in some way, especially if they're bedroom only, monogamous couples that aren't part of the real life BDSM community. That's very understandable. I, however, am asexual, and so really overtly sexual language connected to kink is that doesn't explain my experience, though. So that was a problem with the BDSM test. It seems like it might be repeated here, but we'll just see. Let's get started. I have no idea how long this is. This could be 5 minutes. It could be half an hour. I guess you guys will know when you see the video. I don't, though. All right. I don't want to sign up. Gender, male, female, other. Wish there were more options. That would be great. My age, at least it's a range. At least it's a range. That always, what these things are for yourself. To me, this always kind of seems they're collecting your data, which is true of basically anytime you're on the internet. Just assume people are collecting your data, but what are they using this information for? Who is analyzing this? What's happening? Conspiracy theory time. All right. Not important. Okay. So this one is on a percent. To what extent do you agree with each statement from a scale of 0 to 100, which is a little bit different from how the BDSM test has it set up. So you have a normal taste in sex, just the majority of people who are not into BDSM or other kinky practice, and all of your sexual behaviors are within the range of normality. Okay, already I have a problem with this, because what the fuck does normal mean? Because 50 years ago, anal and oral were way outside the mainstream and like nobody would ever think of doing those, and it was very risque. Whereas like nowadays we have people like joking about anal on Twitter. So clearly this is something where it is probably generational and is maybe not great test design. But I would probably say that, I mean, I get is also, it's hard because I'm asexual, and so like my whole skew of like what's normal for sex is also kind of like based on, you know, that aspect of it as well. So I'm gonna say 30%. With zero confidence level to that assessment. You love to see exactly how far you can go by teasing, testing limits, pushing boundaries, cajoling. That's a word I do not hear enough with brats. Begging, breaking rules, and you love to ask for punishment. That's gonna be 10%. The reason for 10%, even though I always swear up and down that I'm not a brat, is because of the ask for punishment thing is a little bit like, I mean, it's good to like, you know, ask when you want to have a scene, right? You know, I have a little bit of like playfulness, I guess, in some aspects. And like begging can be fun. So like some of these terms I agree with and some of them I don't. So interesting there. Would you play with a naughty, disobedient partner rather than someone submitting spontaneously? Why is it spontaneously or... Okay, I'm also trying to figure out, this is on a... Yeah. I think I'd rather have somebody who did it... Spontaneously doesn't sound good either, because I don't like being surprised. And I don't like naughty and disobedient. 50%? Because I disagree with both. Would you like to give money to your partner to pay for all of their expenses? No. I'm very tight-fisted with my money. Definitely not. Would you like to get more nurturing and care from your partner by dressing up as a child and mimicking childlike behaviors such as doodling, blowing bubbles, and playing with dolls? So I just did a whole video about how I'm not a little, so that's going to be a 0% for me. And if you haven't seen the video on how I explain like why I'm not a little, you should watch it because it's a pretty good one. I'm pretty proud of it. All right, little Kink D advertisement there. Gotta pay for the web domain somehow. All right, would you like to have sex with more than one sexual partner at the same time? See, again, asexual. I don't really know. It would have to depend on the people. I mean, I'd be open to the idea. I'm gonna say 80%, but 0 confidence level because it entirely depends on like, if 2 people were like really enthusiastic about the idea, I'd be like, yeah, sure, I guess if you guys like want to. Like, again, asexuality makes these like some of these questions so difficult to answer. Would you like to completely tie up your partner as opposed to partially tie up your partner during sex / BDSM? Maybe in the future, I guess, but there's not really an option for like future how much you agree with that, you know? I'm definitely very, very new to exploring the sadistic side of my BDSM personality, and I think maybe at some point I could see myself incorporating like bondage elements into a scene, but I gotta figure out the basics first before I get into doing that kind of thing, I think. So maybe at some point, but not right now. Not something I really want to do. Would you be open to joining a multi-partner relationship for sexual and or emotional pleasure if you were single? I do appreciate the fact that they included emotional pleasure. I would say yes. My 20% that's making this not 100%, that's a weird way to do math, is because if it's like an existing 2-person couple, that's like the whole, hi, we are Kate and Steve, and we really want to find a third, and you just seem so perfect. We both always wanted a goth girlfriend, and you just seem to really fit the bill. I'm going to be like, how about no, Kate and Steve? Because a fair amount of the joining an existing multi-partner relationship thing is like unicorn hunting, and I'm not necessarily a fan of that. But I would be open in general to the concept of an open relationship of a different style besides that. Will you give up on everything to fulfill your BDSM fantasies? I feel like, is this a question they ripped from the BDSM test? Because I swear this exact question is also on the BDSM test. I would probably say no. And I think people who are maybe new to BDSM are more inclined to say yes to this because a lot of them have had like years, decades maybe of building up like kink fantasy worlds where the idea of actually being able to live it out is so appealing that you would give up all your money, you would divorce your wife, you never see your kids again to be able to act out on the things you want to do. And I think if you're trying to create a sustainable lifestyle long term that's going to be healthy for you as opposed to destructive in your life, you have to have some kind of sense of like, you know, I'm willing to have BDSM as part of my experience as a human being, but I'm not going to like, you know, leave everything else behind for it. You know, just completely give up all sense of structure in your life, give up your job, your family, your friends. I don't necessarily think is a healthy approach to BDSM. So I would say, because I'm willing to give up certain aspects of my life or compromise on things to have BDSM, you know, be part of my life, but I'm certainly not willing to give up like everything. Will you give up the control of your finance, such as bank account, etc., to your partner in terms of how much your own money you could have access to? No. No. Works for some people, not for me. All right, we are 15% of the way through. I need to cut down on my commentary a little bit here. Okay. Will you get turned on by inflicting pain on your partner and seeing marks, bruises, etc. resulting from it? I'm going to electively change getting turned on by getting a mental high from. And that's going to be a 80% right there. Will you get turned on by feeling pain and seeing marks, bruises, etc. resulting from it? Again, also changing to mental pleasure. Will you get pleasure from watching a couple having sex in public? Nope. I'm not even going to finish reading the rest of that because it's just no. Do you fantasize often about watching others having sex right in front of you? No. Will you get pleasure from physically restricting your partner, including but not limited to restrictions on body movement, breath, vision, hearing, and even orgasm during sex / BDSM? I could see maybe like some sensory deprivation stuff kind of being fun from a sadistic perspective, but not like orgasm or like breath control or things like that. Those are not for me. Do you get off on the idea of swapping your spouse partner with other couples? Nope. I don't like swapping as a concept is, yeah, open relationships, yes, but like swapping is, or like swinging is a different thing and not my thing. Does it turn you on if someone unintentionally catches you being, no. Again, just not even going to finish reading the rest of that. Is it more arousing to you to have sex in public rather than private spaces? No. You like to play a different age other than your current biological age and your partner treats you accordingly. Again, also feels like something that was ripped from the BDSM test. Ooh, this, we get to imagine something. Okay, let's visualize together, everyone. Imagine that you were a lion. Would you enjoy chasing your prey, taking all kinds of actions from biting and scratching to kicking and hitting, etc., to capture it? I think so. I mean, probably not a lion. Lions are cool, but like I don't spiritually identify with a lion. You know what I mean? Imagine that you were a rabbit. Ooh. Would you enjoy being hunted by a predator after grueling fighting, taking all kinds of actions from biting and scratching to kicking and hitting? Probably also. If your partner is not into threesome or any other sexual practice, will you see others to fulfill your sexual desire? I mean, again, asexual, so like how likely is that to happen? But like, I mean, yeah, it's kind of like open relationships. It's like you want to do things that are going to be beneficial for you, right? And negotiate boundaries around that. All right, so if you're not sure whether you will like something or not, will you at least give it a go? Yes, mostly, unless it's like a really, really high risk thing, but I'm probably not going to do it because the risk reward thing there is not clear. If you're not into threesome or any other sexual practice, will you encourage your partner to see others to fulfill their sexual desire? Yep. Have you and your spouse / partner ever engaged in the swapping of sexual? No. Just no. Does it arouse you to pee on your partner and to treat them as a urinal? No. You enjoyed being physically restricted, including restrictions of body movement, breath, vision, hearing, and even orgasm. Yep. That's one of the things that I like. Does it arouse you to be peed on by your partner during sex / BDSM? Again, it's like the term arouse just like ruins this whole statement for me. Like, yeah, I like water sports, but it's not like a fetish. Like, it's not that important. It's pretty good. I don't know. I feel like somewhere in, I'm going to say 60. I feel like 60 is exactly committal enough for me. Do you enjoy the idea of having your spouse / partner cheating on you e.g. having sex with another person or a group of people in front of you. No. Like, again, having a consensual open relationship means that, like, if they want to have sex with people, they should have sex with people. It shouldn't be, like, a cheating thing. Like, again, I think this is probably getting into, like, cuckolding stuff, which is not my jam. But to explain the difference, cuckolding and open relationships are not the same thing. Do you value the romantic aspect the most in a relationship? Yeah, because it's, like, again, asexual, so yeah. I feel like this is going to be one of those questions where, like, if I answer it this way, they're going to be like 100% vanilla, as though, like, romance and BDSM are different things. And for some people they are, but for a lot of people they go together. So I don't necessarily think they have to be in conflict, but this test probably won't agree with that assessment, but we'll see. Do you think you are kinkier than others, given that you have more sexual fantasies to try out? No. I mean, again, like, sexual fantasy is not a thing for me as far as kinkier than others. I mean, am I comparing myself to vanilla people, or am I comparing myself to, like, people in the BDSM community? Because I feel like, it depends. Like, if it's against other vanilla people, then, like, yeah, because by definition, like, I'm in the BDSM community, so therefore I am kinkier than people that are not in the BDSM community, unless they haven't discovered their kink side yet. But compared to other people in the kink world, I feel like I'm fairly average. I mean, I have a wide variety of things that I enjoy, but that's, I think, typical for a lot of people in the kink community. You think of your partner as superior in BDSM, thus it is your duty to serve them with the utmost respect. Yes, but that's not, like, a given. Like, you have to, like, earn that and negotiate for that, you know? Do you think it is quite adorable for your partner to dress up as a child and mimic childlike behaviors such as doodling, blowing bubbles, playing with dolls? I mean, I think it's cute. I like being around littles. I think they're fun. I mean, it would depend on the partner. Like, if Mr. Tex was, like, suddenly into this, it would take a lot from my brain to, like, you know, adjust to that. But I think it can definitely be cute. I think it can be fun to play with. Do you tend to switch roles in BDSM from dominant to submissive or bottom to top in the same setting with the same partner, or in a different setting with a different partner? No. Do you often feel free to unleash your animal instincts in bed? No comment. Do you love to serve your partner for the rest of your life and take it as your life purpose? Again, I feel like healthy boundaries in BDSM is, like, understanding sort of that you do need to have some kind of incorporation with, like, the real daily world for the most part, unless you can literally live a 100% BDSM life. I mean, I think it's healthy to have other things you're also into outside of your, like, kink relationship. Like, have other friends, have other hobbies, because if something happens to that relationship, you probably want to have a support network or, like, other interests that you can fall back on, as opposed to, like, having it completely destroy everything that you are. But that's just my opinion. Certainly that would not work for everyone. Do you love the fear in your partner's eyes when they know you're going to inflict pain on them? I don't really like fear. I don't feel like that's, like, a motivator for me. I like it when I know that they're going to be happy about it. But I mean, a little bit of fear mixed with the happiness, I think, is okay. Do you love to have a 24/7 relationship with your partner, submitting to you and take the responsibility that comes with it? Yep. Do you love to be completely tied up? Yep. Would you like to be a 24/7 sex slave without doing anything or having any social connections to others? No. I'm going to say 10% because there's definitely a little bit of a fantasy element of that, where maybe for, like, a day or a weekend it would be fun to live that out. But I think doing it every day for the rest of all time, like, I like dance, I like working out, I like cooking, I like going to the library. Like, there are things that I would want to do that aren't just BDSM related, you know? Okay. Do you love to serve you, master/mistress, 24/7 with other slaves owned by him/her? I mean, I think that could be fun. But again, it's like negotiation, finding the right people, all of that can take so much effort. Do you like to talk dirty to your partner during sex/BDSM? No, I'm so bad at dirty talk. I'm not like a robot. I'm not like, I love it when you put your penis in my butt. Like, I'm not just like that level, but, like, I don't really, just talking is not my thing. That's probably too much information. All right, moving on. You enjoy having control over your partner during sex/BDSM? No. Do you like to film it during /BDSM and upload it online in porn sites? No. Do you like to be bossed around by your partner in the bedroom? I feel like bossed around is such a weird phrasing for this. Like, bossing around just makes you think of, like, children, I guess. Like, you know, oh, you know, so-and-so is so bossy. Like, just is an aspect I think I normally associate with, like, children that don't understand that other people have, like, things that they want to do besides, like, you know, being ordered around by somebody else. I'm just going to replace bossed with being dominated, and then I'll say yes. But, like, I feel like bossed around has this, like, weird connotation in my head to, like, a dom that hasn't really, like, figured out how to be dominant without being domineering, if that makes sense. You enjoy being addressed with respectful titles by your partner and making them follow your order without question. No. It whips you up into a sexual frenzy. That's just... Oh my gosh. When your partners say something overly vulgar and erotic, no. Just don't talk to me. Just don't say anything. Do you have a thing for large age gaps in hookups or relationships? No. I mean, the majority of my partners have had at least like a couple year age difference with me, and they've all been older, except for one person, I think. But it's not like it's something I seek out on purpose. Like, I don't even like generally know somebody's age unless we meet online for quite a while afterwards. Like, I didn't know how old Mr. Tex was for like a couple of weeks after we started kind of like, you know, talking to each other. So it's like, this is not really something I think about, I guess. Do you get arousal from treating your partner with little or no respect, such as degrading or humiliating them sexually? No. Do you get arousal from being treated with little or no respect by your partner, such as being degraded or humiliated sexually? Degrade, yes. Humiliated, no. So 50%. The idea of torturing someone sexually sounds quite appealing to you. Was this ripped from the BDSM test? I know that they had the phrase of like torturing in there, and I was like, I don't know about torture. Like, torture, I think, kind of implies that they don't like it at all, and like, I would want somebody to enjoy what I was doing. So, again, just like to have this test be as accurate as possible, I'm trying to anticipate what I think they mean by things, and it's kind of annoying that I have to do that, but this is the world that we live in. Okay. Does it sound appealing to you to be tortured sexually? Do you enjoy the challenge of keeping up with the mischievous antics of your partner, i.e. making them submissive by means of suitable rules, punishments, rewards? I feel like... Okay, is this equating rules and punishments and rewards with brats? Because, like, obviously, like, rules and punishments and rewards are great, but they don't necessarily have anything to do with, like, your partner being mischievous, right? But in any case, I'm not a dom, so that doesn't really apply to me anyways. Do you naturally enjoy taking a caring and nurturing role in a relationship? I mean, yes, but like from a submissive perspective, I think for the most part. Again, was this ripped from the BDSM test? I think it probably was. Do you enjoy taking control of your partner's finance and rationing it as to how much of his own money he can have access to? Is this the first time we've run into gendered language in this test? I think it is. I think this is the first time we've run into gendered language in this test. No, but also, maybe we could be a little bit more gender inclusive with our language here. I know that, obviously, a lot of people who are into fin-sub stuff are mostly male submissives, but there are certainly people who are outside of that definition that are also into it, so, you know, things to think about. Do you enjoy keeping your partner as a pet, providing them with a cage, feeding them out of a bowl, petting, caressing them? I mean, I think maybe having another pet would be fun. Again, I'm not a dom. And so, I don't know. Do you enjoy being naked and or having sex in front of other people? I feel like I already answered this question. It was no. Do you enjoy dressing up and behaving like a pet animal for your partner? Yeah. Do you enjoy being kept as a pet by your partner? I'm sorry, isn't that the same question but like vaguely different phrasing? Don't know. Do you dream about living with a group of slaves serving you 24/7? No, that sounds like a lot of personalities to keep up with. I want to live with one other person. Maybe. Do you consider yourself to be a highly sexual person? No. Do you consider money as your primary kink? No. Do you enjoy being cared for and guided by your partner during BDSM or in a relationship? Yes. being naughty and disobedient to your partner can make for a fun interaction. A little zhuzh. I think, again, sort of that like playfulness aspect can be fun, but like naughty and disobedient, no. But like I'm inserting my own definition, which is like kind of playfulness and a little bit of teasing, but like just enough to kind of give them a little bit of energy, you know, to kind of signal to them I'm ready to like engage in something right now. But, you know, never like breaking rules on purpose or anything like that, heaven forbid. You feel proud of taking good care of all of your household chores for your partner to make them feel comfortable at home. Yes, definitely, very much. Okay. Oh, they have to make sure I'm not a robot, guys. What am I doing? Slide the puzzle to the right piece. This is new. I've never done this before. How do you do? Oh. That's new. Okay, wait. Fuck. This is exactly like the BDSM test. Okay. 98% rope bunny. 98% pet. Surprising no one. 89% non-monogamous. How vanilla am I? I am 39% vanilla. Interesting. I don't really think on the BDSM test there's things that are like as explicitly about like findom as on this. So maybe for somebody into findom, this is like more inclusive of that experience. But otherwise, it's like everything's the same. Like even right down to like the primal, like parentheses prey, primal parentheses hunter. Like I had heard this kind of marketed as like, this is a better version of the BDSM test. This is like a version of the BDSM test that is probably written by people who don't speak English as a first language and are also wanting to include financial domination. Like I feel like there were even less questions in this that I related to. I honestly don't know if I'm a fan of this. I think if you're going to take the BDSM test, take the BDSM test. I don't necessarily think this is a better version. I will say I appreciated the fact that they didn't have those stupid questions at the end that were like, would you be willing to give us money? Would you sign up for a mailing list that would allow you to have access to mentors? And like all that other stuff that kind of seems sort of predatory to me, to be honest. So I'm glad that those aren't in there. But like besides that, I don't know. There's just like a lot of similarities. Like it just feels like this got like ripped off. And it's even like they have freaking like copyright and everything. Like what's happening here? This is clearly a rip off the BDSM test. Well, it was an experience. I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I know obviously now that we've taken it, we know that this is basically identical to the BDSM test, but hey, now we know we've had that experience together. And yeah, I hope you guys got something out of this. If you guys have any like other like tests or quizzes or like online BDSM things you think I should check out, put them down in the comment section below. I mean, obviously, I've been advertised so much for Kinktest. I have no plans for trying that because I feel like trying a dating app would be weird on YouTube. But if you have other things you think I should do, I am more than happy to check them out. Again, you can leave them down in the comment section below. If you'd like this, if you want to see more BDSM related content, you can subscribe to my channel. I make videos twice a week about all sorts of BDSM and alternative relationship topics. And if you really enjoyed this, if you want to support my work, the way you can do that is through Patreon. Link to that will also be down in the description box below. Through that, I'm able to do things like exclusive videos on content that I can't put on YouTube. I have photo shoots. I have a Discord chat. There's a bunch of things. So if you haven't already checked that out, please do. Again, link to that will be down in the description box below. And until I see you guys next time, I hope you have a great rest of your day and a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.